The dialogue between Alexander the Great and the philosopher Diogenis mentions a continent beyond the great ocean, meaning the Atlantic Ocean, a continent that was larger than Asia. Whoever you ask, what did Diogenis say to Alexander? He'll answer you, the 1,000-word, do not hide the sun from me, or do not deprive me of what you cannot give me. In other words, he was living in this huge pot in Athens, just below the Acropolis, and when Alexander the Great visited Athens, he was standing in the sunlight, shading Diogenis, and Diogenis told him, do not hide the sun from me. In other words, get out of my sunlight, move over. Now, the modern Greek experts, in a strange way, stop here without expanding on the rest of Alexander's discussion with Diogenis, which is a real lecture on political sociology. Diogenis agrees with the Socratic conception of knowledge, that is, one cannot deal successfully and profitably with something if one ignores it. Do you think he's telling Alexander the Great that he is the one who cannot hold the reins? Or is he who does not know how to rule a ruler? Alexander then, worried that he might not be considered to know how to reign, asks very aptly, who teaches the royal art that one must go to learn it? Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. To the question, Diogenis answers that education is of 2 kinds. The one that man has from nature, the divine, and the one that acquires from people, the human. That is the innate and the acquired. But in order to become properly educated, it's necessary to add the human to the equation. That is, the ruler, the king, the doctor must have the talent, the innate inclination to rule, to heal, etc. This view of Diogenis prevails today in pedagogical science and is the basis of professional orientation. Diogenis assures Alexander that whoever has a divine innate education easily acquires the other, the human, after listening a few times. It's questionable why they limit Diogenis to his jokes and teasing and ignore his contribution to the science of political sociology. Besides, it's not by chance that Alexander said at the end of the conversation that, quote, if I were not Alexander, I would like to be Diogenis, he said, end quote. Now, including this dialogue with Diogenis the Great, he says, even if you conquer the whole world, even if you cross the Heraclean columns, that's the Gibraltar, and conquer the great continent beyond the great ocean, which is greater than Asia, you will not be a king, a great king, if you are not a good person first. Quote, I live on the Asian continent, crossing the ocean, end quote. What Epirus was Diogenis referring to? What continent was Diogenis referring to? Was he referring to North America? We know that the ancient Minoans, the Cretes, traveled and traded there. They even found Minoan, ancient Cretan DNA in the Native American Indians of the Great Lakes region. So what continent was Diogenis referring to? But it's clear that he's talking about America, since Atlantis had already sunk at the time of Alexander the Great, who lived around 330 BC. It's obvious that the secret history of the Greek nation spreading places situations that we have not realized. So he obviously was referring to North America. Ancient Greek treatise and mythology, history tells us about transatlantic travel around the world, about super ships, and even about ancient flying machines. Not only ancient Greek texts, but also the Vimanas of ancient India. Now, how long will we close our eyes to something that stands out? I don't think it's a shame or fascist to say that there were ancient areas that were birthplaces and drivers of all human knowledge. Please leave your comments on this, and thank you for your support. So it's obvious that Diogenis was referring to North America, or the Americas, because we know they even went to, they had influence in Peru and Mexico as well. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. I've translated this from a Greek article. Thank you.